A few months ago, we finally cycled to the new anime season, and while I wasn't looking, I just watched everything anime to watch. I found these cute girls doing cute things anime about a band and music. The story is very heart-wrenching. Questions about passion and reigniting it. And then there is a CG anime of the same thing. This is about the CG anime. Look, I don't know where the name Cute Girls Doing Cute Things came from, but the two anime above are definitely not it, especially Girls Band Cry. I would say it's even closer to drama. Every episode felt so heavy. And I thought the other anime was heavy, but that turned out to be some weak shit. Sure, they both confront their fears, trauma, so to speak. They got newfound courage from the other girls to finally see their true selves. But while one finishes up in one arc, you know, like a very calculated story with several flags that they need to finish, the other just keeps going round and round on its own head. So in Girls Band Cry, there is this main character, Nina. She moved away from home. You can put some quotations on runaway. She's a country girl who just moved to the big city, barely fitting in with the culture. Something about moving out for higher education and all that background stuff, don't worry too much about it. The school barely matters to her and us. As she was having a bit of trouble on her first day, she found out that her favorite band / singer was playing real close. So she met up with her Oshi, Momoka. Momoka lets her crush on her place, but she finds out later that Momoka is no longer in the band she's been listening to. In fact, she told her that she was going to go back and quit music for good. Not content with the outcome, and probably because of being left out first thing in the morning without a word, she went to the station again, crashed someone's street performance, and literally just started singing. It worked though. Momoka came out and performed a guitar with her. You would have thought this is the part where the cute girls sizzle and drizzle as they thrive in their creative endeavors. But guess what this bitch says? No, I have college to attend to. Bitch, what? You are literally the one who's making her go back to music after she made up her mind to sever ties with it. Momoka still felt like she wanna give it a try, introducing possibly a younger fella who will become a drummer. Best character, let's go. Also, she gives her a light cause her new apartment doesn't have a light yet. She is this bright character who tries to lighten up the mood by showing her likeness and enthusiasm. Positivity, if you will. So, she is chill, right? Wait, Nina, why do you look like that? Oh, come on. Just act friendly. This is the first time for both of you. You are on the same spot. Subaru, noticing Nina's unsubtle reactions, decides not to go with them, but Momoka insists. I don't know, maybe Momoka isn't that observant. So they went ahead and had this expensive hotpot dinner where Subaru single-handedly tries to bring up the conversation between the two of them. She helps her get her serving of the hotpot, asks her about her hobbies, her preferences, etc. You know, the stuff you ask when you meet new people. But thank God there is a third wheeler, aka Momoka. Wait, Nina, can you talk more? Nina, please, they're already pushing out. Nina, we're pushing the payload. Get your head out of your ass. The worst thing about a conversation is if only one party contributes to it. This is just like a first date where the other partner has zero interest whatsoever and just goes along. Nina takes a breather and ends up being confronted by Momoka because, you know, it's kind of obvious. If you're in the middle of a talk like this and you didn't get the hint, wow, you're either positive to a fault or just downright dense like a black hole. Or maybe both. Anyway, Momoka confronts her because Momoka and Subaru, already set this up so they can get along. And instead, Nina is like, woe is me, she's patronizing me to look good for befriending such an antisocial girl. Bitch, what? At this point, she is the one patronizing herself with all these thoughts. And she says all these things like talking bad about Subaru in front of Momoka, the one who set it up. She acts like there is only one villain, Subaru, because she is trying to get Momoka's support / validation, the person she looks up to the most. Of course, Momoka told her off. She acts only with herself in mind, like she is the only one suffering will get there, without even thinking about the other person. Trying to get in their shoes and see from their eyes how it would look to try to push yourself to be friendly. Not even for a grand scheme of a plan even. She just wants to hit off with her. And the first introduction, the prelude of a relationship, is always rough. And Subaru puts herself out there, laying bare her own heart, her feelings, her characters, in hopes that Nina might also respond in kind and perhaps be friends with her. Nina is an annoying and self-centered character. All me, only I alone am the tormented one because apparently only I matter as the main character of the story. And sad to say, Nina is very much such a real character. For real. Like as in real life. The character of Nina is quite a realistic depiction of a person with trust issues. She moved to Tokyo because she dropped out of high school after the fact of not only being heavily bullied, but also betrayed by the people who were supposed to protect her, her parents. Her father is a renowned teacher while her mother is the follow the father type. It doesn't really help that their position is one where if their child has some troubles at school, their position might be jeopardized. So when the school chairman met them up, Nina and the bully not wanting to make a big deal, the school's investigation came out with no evidence of bullying. The school wants both of them to make up and shake hands. The bully knows she just got away with it. You could imagine the frustration in Nina having such injustice being thrown at her again, having her place in school destroyed, coming home with injuries, and the school turns a blind eye. Guess what the dad does? Supports the school for not wanting to make a big deal out of it. It must have felt like she was alone in this world. No one supports her or protects her even when she needs it the most. At that point, one would have understood why Nina had trust issues. No shit, she was betrayed by the person she relies on the most. Props to Nina though for immediately disregarding that request and setting her favorite song by Mocha on the school speaker. That is why her connection with the song is strong. Basically, she's like Bocchi but with darker backgrounds. And more annoying personality, don't forget that. Now, I am not a licensed psychologist. I'm just an armchair psychologist, but I sure can say all this because Nina's headspace hit a bit too close to home. Have you ever been known around school as the shy kid? Or perhaps being called out as introvert? Then finding out your introvert friends are still better off than you? Or maybe getting called out for not speaking loud enough, which then makes you super conscious about your voice and you just end up staying quiet? I cannot say my experience is as bad as Nina's, God no, but the outcome of the experience is in parallel with each other, namely overthinking. With Nina, that overthinking comes with rage for obvious reasons. Mine came with fear, but let's focus on the overthinking part, the part I'm most familiar with. When you are in this headspace, it's very easy to overthink for yourself. Of course, that is because of what one has experienced, a trauma that led their mind to be so defensive, because getting hurt is painful. In my case, I didn't want people to think of me as shy. It felt belittling at the time. Getting called out for not talking loud enough makes me feel like an outlier, a weird kid who will never fit in with the others. So I would overthink a lot on what I'm about to say and how people would react. Like, if you didn't know, I love metal, but even I can agree that it's not a mainstream genre. People would look at me with a, oh, Avenged Sevenfold. So I would just keep my heart to myself, let people see what they want to see. I acted like this cool silent guy in school back then. Like, you know, anime characters who act cool, calm, and collected? Yeah, I'm like that. I have no idea how I survived school, but it was received well. I show them what they want to see. They see only what they want to see. Nobody gets hurt. If they say I am quiet, now I can say I am just cool. No more hurt feelings cause I cannot form a few sentences on top of my head. No more getting weird looks for liking Plankton Metal by Boy What. Cause they don't know, I don't show them the things that could get me rejected. That's called being defensive. Worse is the fact that the environment is supporting that kind of behavior, for me at least. Nina is even worse off as she is traumatized by people just straight up forcing her to deny herself. It is in her right to get angry, but she also puts it on other people. Having been told to tough it up, play along, make up with the bully makes her feel the need for more validation as she is the type to not back down. She is not taking a no for an answer. She is angry at her people for not providing that. Thus, she runs to Momoka, which at one point is her shining beacon. Momoka is her sole source of validation now. On the other hand, she just doesn't trust or is unable to trust others. Thankfully, it is easy to spot it since they spell it out. But Nina literally spoke out her mind on what she thinks of Subaru despite it's their first encounter. She is being defensive. She doesn't want to be hurt again, most likely emotionally. She doesn't want to be betrayed. That's why she only trusts herself and doesn't even try to put herself out there to hang out with this easygoing best character of a fella. All she could think of is that this girl is basically the same as those who have betrayed or hurt her. She's just a bootlicker trying to act nice and sweet with her own hidden agenda. She's patronizing her, thinking she's such a poor girl who is having so much family trouble. That's gotta hurt a lot for Nina, considering her prideful demeanor, or anything that she could put a label on Subaru just so when she got hurt, she could be like, yeah, I know it, should have always kept my heart to myself. But it has to be remembered that living with such a skeptical mindset just puts one off of the moment. Yes, it protects you from, I don't know, the future. You can get ready or even avoid of getting hurt later, but then your mind is preoccupied with thinking about the future instead of the now. Don't get me wrong, it's important to keep yourself safe, but I think it should really be balanced with the goal at the moment. For example, in the case of Nina, she's meeting new people, so the goal should be to try and understand others while getting yourself out there. All the more the other party is already doing so as well. If you think you are the only one putting yourself out there when meeting new people, you are so stuck up inside your own head. Relationships, whether starting off or years long, are a two-way street. In no way it will work if only one party is contributing. Okay, now I'm just spelling out the message myself. Let's continue on first. Not feeling it, thankfully, Nina still has some decency to thank Shiba for the lamp and took off. And because this is an anime, they have to spell out the message clearly. Nina was aware the whole time that she was being so hard to work with and realized that she was being such a stupid little fuck. And in anime fashion, the other two got back to her and helped her. And they lived happily ever after. Wait, is this the right anime? You know how anime has ups and downs, sometimes requesting the same arc, but to sort of reaffirm the character's beliefs? But then at that point, you kind of realize that it's just going on a formula and they're just doing the same thing, but with different points, yet the end message is going to be the same. And this anime in it. This is episode 2. I thought it was gonna be another chill, fun, cute girls anime, maybe like a Bocchi or K-On, but hell was I wrong so bad. This anime doesn't feel much like it has arcs, more like a growing mountain where one hill leads to a bigger hill that is still in fact in a single journey. Like for example, she still has that same problem in episode 3. You would have thought she had gotten over it after the last scene from the last episode, but she still kept herself from Subaru here, albeit now it felt less like an anger and more like reserved. Subaru, still being the kind person that she is, tries to put herself out more to invite Nina and perhaps get along with her. But as per usual, Nina tries to dodge it. It wasn't until Subaru actually confronted Nina about it, asking her if it would be better if Subaru didn't join. I think there is some sort of realization after that from Nina that she is, in fact, the problem. Because she ends up eating with Subaru while outwardly saying this stuff. That aversion still came from the same roots. It's just now she understands where the roots is. It's just that Subaru went a bit blunt here and hit the nails on the head that Nina reverts back to her annoying self, i.e., seeing herself as the only victim, seeing others as pomp, self-righteous assholes, all without trying to understand their background. A little bit of back context on Subaru. She is around Nina's age, of course, but she is from a rich family. Very Ojo-sama-like behavior, keeps her appearances up, friendly to people, and is on her way to the acting industry. Of course, to an outsider's view, it looks like she had her life figured out. She is trying to become an actress for fuck's sake, and to a non-omniscient being, having a dream and walking towards it is very commendable. Nina takes this as an insult, not having her life figured out, but her seeing Subaru having a future while delivering blunt force trauma on her. It does seem like a very pompous, stuck-up bitch advising homeless people to just buy a fucking house. But as we already saw, that is not the case. Subaru shows herself out so many times out of consideration and even puts herself out there to get along. A two-dimensional view from Nina, as before, only allows her to see Subaru as a posh little princess that doesn't understand her. And neither does she. Oh my god, bro, this bitch, I want to strangle her so bad. So Subaru kinda brings up Nina's backstory, which she heard from Momoka, and Nina takes offense at this. She said, wow, must have been nice looking down on someone. Must have been nice having your life figured out while looking at the poor sod who cannot manage their life together. Rightfully so, Subaru stands up for herself, saying that she doesn't understand her at all. And in fact, is in the same boat. Like, she goes to an acting school that, unlike university, doesn't have regular exam tests. Nina responded with, yeah, but you have a goal of becoming an actress, which then leads to Subaru opening up. Subaru opened herself up first. Oh my god, guys, where have I seen this before? Turns out, Subaru doesn't want to become an actress as it is the dream of her grandma, a very renowned actress. She just went along because she didn't want to disappoint her grandma. This also leads to a very weird turn of events in episode 4 where she eventually drops out of the band. Yeah, kinda weird that she's scolding Nina for not seeing her true self being a drummer. Then she just gave up like that. But there is a reason. So, first of all, hearing your bandmate out of nowhere just bail like that is probably going to get a few reactions. So they went to Subaru's place only to find out her grandma was there. You can put 2 and 2 together. This anime has a tendency to overlap between arcs and use 2 episodes instead of 1 to achieve the climax. After Subaru explained that she only does this for her grandma despite wanting to continue pursuing music, they got into a bit of an argument. Nina, this little self-serving gal, thought that it was not right to lie about it, cause no one on the internet lies. She says that it's going to hurt later on, so she might as well break the news earlier. This self-righteous bastard's word does have some merit, and Subaru does seem to agree with her point. This led to her next meeting with her grandma, where she was doing another acting gig to be the time when she planned to drop the bombshell. So Subaru already made up her mind about being told off by Nina. The whole gang is also here to support her, but before that, they had a talk with the grandma while Subaru was still acting. The grandma said that it has been her dream to act together with Subaru. Because she is an actress, she was barely home, and that made her daughter hate her and her job for it. But with Subaru, she said that Subaru herself is the one who said that she liked her job, even offered to become an actress like her, and it made her super happy. Of course, she doesn't know that Subaru is acting. But Subaru wants to make her smile considering that she wasn't able to talk to her daughter because she still has the same job that distanced them apart. Hearing this actually made Nina hesitant. The moment Subaru is about to tell her grandma, Nina drags her away. Subaru, rightfully so, got angry, especially the fact that Nina was the one who talked her into doing it. Nina says, you know, people have their own issues. You need to grow and be a bit more understanding. Okay, you might still think of Nina in a good enough light that her reaction is logical. Like, sure, if your mate suddenly up and leaves, you would be confused or mad and want to talk to them first. But Nina here was shown to act from her emotions, like she is trying to demand answers, only to then chicken out herself when it's not even about her. I'm not just talking about this arc, there is also the time when Momoka opens up to her. So there is this point where the topic of the current Diamond Dust, Momoka's ex-band, came up, and Momoka is a bit hesitant about talking about it. She puts everything on her, and the reason why she's not in the current band is because of her, even though she and the band made a promise to stick together forever. The reason why is that she is not too fond of commercialization just to boost their publicity. So she left, but she felt bad, feeling responsible for it. Eventually, what Nina came off as is something along the line of, no, you're not wrong, they are wrong, you are perfect, and you should be angry that they went ahead. You should sue them, battle them, don't let them win over you. Even though there is nothing to win here, hell, Momoka already made her peace. In any case, you should fight back even though you don't want to. This is one of those moments where a person will start projecting their feelings onto someone they admire or their sport person, the one they close to. Nina was feeling anger that the current Diamond Dust was going this route and leaving Momoka behind. So she wanted Momoka to feel that way as well. All this bullshit she pulled is actually for her to prove to everyone that she is not wrong. That is fine, but she drags everyone around her to feel the same, even when they don't want to. Granted, I'm not covering for Momoka, but if she wants to get angry or stand up for herself, it should come from her own being, not because some other girl wants to get angry as well. All of this kept going until I think episode 9, where it starts to slow down and become a bit more relaxed like Yorokura, which I'ma be honest, shame. Part of the reason why I feel so strongly about this anime is because, well, you see the title, you see the thumbnail. Nina is a pinpoint characterization of a self-serving, self-righteous, selfish, all that kind of stuff character that exists in real life, proven by her not actually having a character development at all. When you think she is over herself, she does the same thing she used to, just in a different manner. And that's what I would call being selfish. You don't change overnight, more so for selfish people. After all, they think they are in the right. That's what being self-righteous means. They are oh so right, and people who think otherwise are wrong. How do you change the mind of someone whose head so up in their ass that they are correct and you are wrong? How would they believe what you're talking about if they think you are in the wrong? Exactly. Apart from the animeification of them turning the issue into a comedy, this story is pretty much how it would go if you find yourself face to face with a self-serving person. And I think that is pretty annoying. Case in point, I think Nina is a Scorpio. Hold on one second. Nina is seri October 24th. Oh my god, I was joking.